Battle Through the Heavens. Chapter 135. A Dangerous Mistake with Forbidden Powder in the Cave. With their lives intertwined in the silence of the mountain cave, a delicate trust begins to take root between the two strangers. However, as Xiaoyan stirs from his slumber, he wakes to a situation that is as startling as it is intimate, complicating their fragile alliance.
Xiaoyan drifted back to consciousness. He felt a pair of warm, soft hands wrapped around his waist. His head rested against something firm yet supple. Behind him, two soft points pressed firmly against his back. The fog in his mind cleared. A sudden splash of cold water hit his mouth and surged into his nose. The person pouring it lacked any sort of grace. Xiaoyan coughed violently, his eyes snapping open. He leaned forward, gasping until the redness left his face. He looked back at Yun. She sat there, holding a water cup, her expression blank and a bit stunned. Xiaoyan let out a dry, bitter laugh.
Are you trying to choke me to death?
Yun looked away, a flicker of embarrassment crossing her face. It was her first time caring for anyone, and she had clearly failed the task. She set the cup down and offered a thin smile.
Are you all right?
I am fine.
Xiaoyan said. He rubbed his forehead.
It was only a rank 2 magical beast. If it had been rank 3, I would not have made it back at all.
I am sorry. I did not want this to happen.
Yun replied.
Her voice was softer than usual. With her power sealed, she had apologized more in the last few days than she likely had in years. If those who knew her true status heard her now, they would have stood frozen in shock. Xiaoyan waved a hand.
Forget it. I should have been more careful.
As he spoke, his stomach let out a long, hollow growl. He felt his face heat up with shame. Yun let out a clear, melodic laugh. She reached for the supplies Xiaoyan had gathered earlier.
You are the patient today. Let me handle the fish.
You are going to cook?
Xiaoyan asked. He stared at her, unable to hide his surprise. This was a woman of high standing, a warrior of immense pride.
I have watched you do it enough times. I must have learned something.
She turned toward the fire, leaving Xiaoyan to watch her graceful movement as she knelt by the stones. Xiaoyan watched her for a moment before closing his eyes. He formed the meditation seal with his hands and let his breath settle, entering a state of cultivation. By the fire, Yun struggled. Sweat beaded on her forehead as she turned the wood over the flames. She glanced back at the boy, seeing his eyes shut tight.
I have never cooked for anyone,
she whispered to herself.
And you have the nerve to doubt me.
She turned the wooden spit again. Her eyes scanned the small jade vials on the stone floor. She picked one up, her brow furrowed.
Is this the seasoning?
She saw white powder inside. It looked like the stuff Xiaoyan used. She tilted the vial and shook the powder over the charred fish. A light laugh from Yun pulled Xiaoyan from his meditation. He opened his eyes to see a blackened, coal-like piece of meat held out toward him. He looked from the fish to her bright, expectant eyes.
You actually cooked this?
It is my first time,
she said, her red lips curving into a sharp smile.
Even if it is inedible, you will eat it. If you do not, you can wait until my strength returns.
The threat was clear.
I am an injured man.
Xiaoyan groaned.
You should be taking care of me, not poisoning me.
Yun ignored him. She tore off a small piece and swallowed it. Her eyebrows twitched. She was clearly not happy with her own handiwork. Xiaoyan sighed, resigned to his fate. He took a large bite, figuring his body could handle a little charcoal. The burnt skin tasted like ash. He forced himself to swallow, but the center of the fish was still raw. He chewed through it, his brow furrowing, as a strange sensation began to stir in his gut.
Duo Yan, do you feel something?
Yun asked. Her voice was low and shaky. Xiaoyan looked up and felt his heart skip a beat. Yun stood before him, her face flushed a deep, feverish pink. Her eyes were glazed and wandering. Even the back of her neck had turned a soft rose color.
Something is definitely wrong,
Xiaoyan said. His own blood was starting to boil. A heat flared in his lower belly, coiling tight and spreading through his limbs. He took a deep breath, trying to ignore the way Yun looked. He glanced at the fish in their hands, then back at the vials on the ground. His throat went dry.
What did you put on the meat? Give me that bottle.
Yun realized the mistake came from the food. She hurried to the stones and handed him the small jade vial. Xiaoyan looked at the white powder inside. He took a tiny taste, and his face went pale.
What is it? Is it bad?
Who told you this was seasoning?
Xiaoyan asked, sounding like he wanted to cry.
I thought it looked like the other one.
She whispered, her voice shrinking with shame.
Zhao Yan groaned. The fire in his gut was growing into a roar. He tried to use his Dou Qi to suppress the rising heat.
What is that powder?
Yun asked. Her skin was burning now. She looked like she wanted to tear her clothes off. Even with her power sealed, she fought the urge with everything she had.
It is something I made by accident.
Xiaoyan muttered, his face turning red.
It is an aphrodisiac.
An aphrodisiac?
Yun froze. She stomped her foot in anger.
You are so young, yet you spend your time making such filth! What kind of master do you have?
It is my powder, but you are the one who used it as salt.
Xiaoyan shout back.
What do we do?
Yun asked. The proud queen of the skies now looked like a panicked girl.
Suppress it with Dou Qi. It is a weak blend. If we focus, we can fight it off.
He shut his eyes and began to circulate his energy. Yun sat down to do the same, but she quickly hit a wall. The purple crystal seal was absolute. Her Dou Qi was locked away. She had no way to fight the poison coiling through her veins. Her mind began to slip. The heat was winning.
I cannot stay here.
She gasped. A cool breeze from the cave entrance caught her attention.
I have to get out.
She stood up and bolted for the opening. Xiaoyan's eyes flew open. If she ran out now, she would be defenseless against the monsters in the mountains. He jumped from the stone bed and grabbed her from behind, locking his arms around her waist. Yun stiffened. Yun asked. Her body went rigid at his touch. She swung her hand around, slapping his face. But there was no strength in the blow. It felt more like a caress.
If you go out there and lose your mind, there are beasts that would love to find a woman like you.
Xiaoyan hissed. Yun turned pale. She had heard of the lustful apes in these woods. The thought made her stomach turn. She couldn't leave, but she couldn't stay. In her desperation, she leaned forward and bit Xiaoyan's shoulder. But as she felt his skin against hers, the fire exploded. The bite softened. Her tongue flicked against his skin like a cat. Xiaoyan trembled. The heat he had been fighting roared back to life. He tightened his grip on her small waist, pulling her flush against him. In the haze of the cave, Xiaoyan turned his head. His lips met hers. They were soft and burning. His mouth opened, and a stray spark of desire leaped between them. Their tongues met, and Xiaoyan felt like he had been struck by lightning. His mind went blank, save for one single thought.
My first kiss is gone.